5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You're live.
Hello, Bulldog fans. My name is Larry Allen, and we're coming to you live. I'm coming to you live along with Shamal Parrish from Bulldog Park in Carthage at Carthage High School, a game that was slated to start at 7 o'clock. Due to weather conditions tonight, they elected to start this one at 5 o'clock. As you can tell, we did not get underway at 5. It's now 5:04, 5:05 make it. So we're hoping to get started here quickly. Tonight's starting lineup, sponsored by First Methodist Church. Join the Sunday service at First Methodist with Brother Kevin Otto. He is their pastor. Sunday school starts at 9 a.m. and the worship starts at 10 a.m. Here's a look at the Carthage lineup. Leading off at second base is Maddox Martinez. Sam Watson will be at shortstop. Cale Preston hits third. He'll be in left field. Brooks Soap is a cleanup hitter. He's behind the plate. Cade Moore in the 5-hole. He'll be at first base. Cade Ross is the DH, hitting for Alex Welk, the starting pitcher. Caden Ritter will be in the 7-hole. He's in center field. River Leach, batting 8th, is at third base, and Blayton Legrone will be at first base for the Bulldogs. So again, that Bulldog lineup: Martinez, Watson, and Preston, the top third of the order. Soap, Moore, and Ross, the middle third. And the bottom third is Ritter, Leach, and Legrone. Now for the Gilmer Buckeyes. Aiden Vineyard leads off at third base. Chevy Edwards will be the left fielder. Klein Lindsay at second. Ryder Lang is batting cleanup. He is the starting pitcher. Dylan Griffin behind the plate. Zach Turner at shortstop. Aiden Davis at first. Lathan Kemp will be in right field, and Tay Horn will be in center field. So again, it's Vineyard, Edwards, and Lindsay, the top third. Lang, Griffin, and Turner, the middle third. Davis, Kemp, and Horn, the bottom third of the order for the Gilmer Buckeyes. The weather tonight is brought to you by Judge Roger McLean. Judge Roger McLean loves Panola County, and he also is an avid supporter of the Carthage Bulldogs. Go Dogs. And so here, as we get started tonight, we've got 60 degrees, 67 degrees. The relative humidity is 90%, and the wind is at 12 miles per hour. And yes, it is raining. So we have a rather, I would call it a sparse crowd on hand for this ball game, and we're not for sure if the rain's going to continue for the entire game or not. But it is raining right now, and we're going to play in the rain. You can play in the rain. You just can't play when it's lightning, and there's been no lightning so far since I've been out here. Okay, let's take a break. Let's take a 90-second break, and we'll be back from Bulldog Park right after this. Okay, I can't hear the commercials. Okay, all right, that's okay. I don't have to. We're back here at Bulldog Park as we get ready for District 16 4A action between the Carthage Bulldogs and the Gilmer Buckeyes. And we now see the umpires making their way onto the field. And I can tell you that the home plate umpire for sure is going to be Pierce Pipak. And I thought last year in the 2024 season, this was the best home plate umpire that I saw during the season. And I'm pretty sure that the other fella who is going to be on the bases, I'm guessing, is Spencer Ashmore. It seemed like last year, every time that Pipak came to call one of our games, and he called all the playoff games for us, you know, because in the playoffs, each coach gets to select 2 umps from their chapter. And Jason Causey selected Pipak and Spencer Ashmore. So they were always a team. They were always together calling those games. So I know it's Pierce Pipak behind the plate, and I'm pretty sure that's Spencer Ashmore who will be on the bases. And let's take a look while we wait for the start of the game at some district standings. Incidentally, for the season, Carthage 9 wins, 8 losses, 1 tie. But that record can be deceiving because in district play, which are the ones that count, they're 6-0. Played a really tough tournament schedule this year. The Gilmer Buckeyes have 10 wins and 7 losses for the season, and they are 3-3 in District 16 4A. Here are the standings in the district. There are 8 teams. There's 2 teams that are undefeated, Spring Hill and Carthage, that are 6-0. There's 2 teams winless at the bottom, 0-6. So in other words, with just 8 games to go, Carthage and Spring Hill already have a 6-game lead over Chapel Hill and Cumberland Academy. And then in the middle, you've got 4 teams. Henderson is, or let's say Kilgore first. Kilgore is third at 4-2. Henderson is in 4th place with a 3-3 record, tied with Gilmer at 3-3, and Pine Tree is in 6th at 2-4. All right, so the Bulldogs have now taken the field. Alex Welk going through his wound-up tosses. Let's take another 30-second break. 30 seconds, and we'll be back with the first pitch right after this. Okay. Huh? All right, so we're going to keep it here. Instead of going to a commercial. Let's give you the defensive lineup for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs in their home white uniforms with red numbers and red letters trimmed in black. And behind the plates, the junior, Brooks Soap. Alex Wilk, the lefty, is on the mound. River Leach, a freshman's at third base. Sam Watson at short. Maddox Martinez at second. Cade Moore at first. And the outfield has Cale Preston in left, Caden Ritter in center, and Blayton Legrone at in right field. Pardon me. Here's the pitch, and this is a 2-hopper back to the mound. Wilk has it over to first in time. So on the very first pitch, Vineyard grounds out 1-3, and that'll bring up now Chevy Edwards. So one pitch and 1 out. Can't get any more efficient than that if you're a pitcher. Edwards, the left fielder. Welk comes to the plate, and that one is inside for ball 1. And again, I'll say it again, last year in 2024, I thought this guy behind the plate was the best that I saw last year. Here's the pitch. This one is popped up foul, right side. It's going to go over the screen and out of play. So the count now 1-1 on Chevy Edwards. Wilk working from the stretch. Here's the pitch, high, 2-1. So he's working from the stretch, even with nobody on base. Pitching from the third base side of the rubber. That pitch is low, ball 3. And it is still raining here. Just no lightning. Here's a 3-1. Outside, ball 4. And when I say Pierce Pipek was the best plate ump that I thought I saw last year, that mainly means that he does not widen the plate on either side. If he does, it's not by much. Here's the pitch. This one hit foul, out of play. 0-1 the count now on Klein Lindsey. Lindsey was the starting pitcher for Gilmer on Tuesday night when the Bulldogs won that game 8-0 at Gilmer. All right, Wilk looks over at first at the runner, comes to the plate, outside, 1-1. And there's a lot of what we're going to see tonight as Brooks Soap turns around and asks Pierce Pipak for a new ball, a dry one. Welk working from the stretch, again from the third base side, almost on the edge of the rubber on the third base side. Here's the 1-1. Swung on and missed, strike two. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the three-hole hitter, Klein Lindsey. Top of the first, runner on first for Gilmer, 1 out. And Welk goes over to first. A low throw. Nice stop there by Cade Moore. And with the ball hitting the turf, a wet turf, Welk wants a new baseball. Again, that's going to delay the game some tonight. There's no doubt about that. Here's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. This one is hit to right field. LeGrone backpedals about 3 steps and then makes the catch for out number 2. So 2 away now in the top half of the first inning for the Gilmer Buckeyes. Gilmer in gray pants, black jerseys. Their numbers and letters are in orange. Breaking ball inside to Ryder Lang. Lang, the starting pitcher tonight. He was at third base on Tuesday. Here's the 1-0 pitch to him. In there for a strike. 1-1 now on Lang. Welk with the 1-1. There goes the runner. The pitch high. Throw it down to second. He is in there with a stolen base. Bounces off of the runner, I believe. And he hesitated before getting up and thinking about going to third. And that hesitation cost him a chance to advance to third. So that's a stolen base. So Edwards, who walked, steals second. And now the count is 2-1 on Ryder Lane. Excuse me, Ryder Lane, as in the Ryder Cup in golf. R-Y-D-E-R. Open stance up at the plate. Here's the 2-1, outside and high, 3-1. Bulldogs 6-0 in the district, tied with Spring Hill for the top spot. Here's the 3-1. Strike 2 called on a breaking ball. So now it's 3-2. 15 pitches now for Welk. Here's the stretch, pitch number 16. This one fouled out of play, and it stays 3-2. Boy, I tell you what, you go on the road and you really appreciate what we've got here. Here's a 3-2 pitch, outside, ball 4. However, I must say that, and I told the Gilmer coach this just about half an hour ago in his dugout, that I think that grass field at Gilmer is maybe the best that I've seen in our district in the 30 years I've been calling games. I mean, it really looks sharp. Really looks sharp. All right, so now runners at first and second for Gilmer with 2 down. Top of the first, no score. This pitch is fouled off. And so Alex Welk, who threw 17 pitches to the first 4 batters, now has to face another one, so his pitch count's going to go even higher. Here's the 0-1. Strike 1 call. Strike 2 call. 0-2 on Dylan Griffin. All right, Wilk from the stretch. The 0-2 outside. 1-2. All right, Wilk looks back at second at the runner. The 1-2 way outside. Now that 0-2 pitch, you know, that's something I don't know that I agree with, because, you know, you hate to just waste a pitch, because that pitch was, you know, that was over in the left-handed batter's box. If you're going to throw one off the plate, make it close. Now it's 3-2. So he wastes a pitch to make it 1-2, and now he's thrown well out of the zone. It's now a full count, and so the Gilmer runners will be off with this pitch right here. Runner at first getting a big lead with Moore not holding him on. And Wilk backs off. I know that Carthage works on some pickoff moves. There go the runners. Swung on and missed. Got him. So Griffin goes down swinging for out number 3. And so for the Gilmer Buckeyes, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the first. No score here at Bulldog Park. We'll have it the bottom of the first for you after this 60-second break. Still no, I can't get on yet? Okay. Huh. That's got to be, how long is he going? 3 minutes? I said 90 seconds. Huh? Trying to fix it. Oh, put me on the air. Put me on the air. We need to be describing it. Okay. All right. We are back here at Bulldog Park, bottom of the first. And Maddox Martinez walked on the 3-1 pitch. Sam Watson, the batter now. 1-0 on him. Here's the pitch, and that is low. There goes the runner. Throw down to second, and he is in there with a stolen base. So Maddox Martinez steals second. Stolen base is sponsored by Red Oak Insurance. Red Oak Insurance is your local go-to insurance agency for great customer service. And they've been serving Panola County for over 40 years. Again, Red Oak Insurance sponsoring the stolen bases for the Carthage Bulldogs. 2-0 count now on Sam Watson. Here's the 2-0 to Watson. This one grounded back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. Runner rounding third and coming toward home, and he will score. And going into second is Watson. So Martinez scores from second with a head first slide. He didn't need to do that, but it was spectacular anyway. And Watson takes second on the throw. So Watson with a RBI single. And the batter now is Cale Preston. Preston, the left fielder, gets the bunt down, foul. Preston last night, or on Tuesday night, was hit by a pitch and also single, so he was on base twice. Looks like he was 1 for 4. Here's another bunt, another good bunt. No one covering first, and throw over there. It is in time to get him. Oh, my. Oh. Wow. Spencer Ashmore, you blew it. I hate to say it, but that was highway robbery right there. Notice earlier I said that Pierce Pipek was the best home plate umpire I saw last year. He was safe and called out. Okay, so now Brooks Soap at the plate. So a runner on third now with 2 down. No, with 1 down, pardon me, 1 out. 1 out. And Brooks Soap, the batter, there's a strike. Here's a stretch, the pitch. This one hit foul. 0-2 the count now on Brooks Soap. Brooks on Tuesday night had a single and a double, an RBI. This pitch is hit in the air on the infield. Shortstop calling for it and makes the two-handed grab for out number 2. Obviously, runner cannot tag and try to score on a pop fly on the infield. So now 2 down for Cade Moore. Cade, the pitcher on Tuesday night, playing first base tonight. At the plate Tuesday night, he walked a couple of times. Pitch to him was high. Bulldogs with a run here in the bottom of the first. It's 1-0 Dogs with 2 down and a runner on third. Here's the 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Here's a 2-0 pitch. This one swung on and missed, 2-1. Incidentally, Alex Welk wound up with 23 pitches in the first half of this inning. That one's high, 3-1. Ryder Lang for the Gilmer Buckeyes is now at 17 pitches. 2 down and runner on third base. Here's a 3-1. High, ball 4. So this will stretch out his pitch count, having to pitch to another batter. He's now thrown 18 pitches and has another batter to face. All right, Ryder Lang from the stretch. Outside, ball 1. This is Cade Ross at the plate. Cade, the DH tonight, hitting for Alex Wilk. Our starting pitcher, here's the 1-0. Strike 1 call. Lang from the stretch and the 1-1. And that must have been a low because it looked like it was over the outside corner. 2-1 the count. Here's a 2-1. Foul back into the screen. 2-2. Two and two on Cade Ross. Runners at first and third, 2 down, a run in for the Bulldogs in the bottom of the first. Outside, ball 3. And so now Lang's pitch count has reached 23, same number that Wilk threw in the top half of this frame. Here's a 3-2, outside, ball 4. Gets past the catcher. Here's a runner trying to score, and he will. And it's 2-0 Carthage. So Ross walks. And Sam Watson, who was on third, scores on the wild pitch. And so now Caden Ritter comes up. Runners at first and second with 2 down and 2 runs in for Carthage. Lang. That one must have been low right there because it looked from our vantage point like it was right over the middle of the plate. Here's the 1-0. High. That's definitely high. 2-0. Bulldogs next week. Big week coming up. Let's just hope that the Bulldogs are undefeated going into next week. Spring Hill, 6-0 record coming into tonight. They're playing Pine Tree tonight. Both teams should be 7-0 going into next week's double. 2 games on Tuesday and Friday. That's high, ball 3. So Ritter ahead now in the count 3-0, probably be taking right here. And he did, and that's ball 4. So 3 straight walks. 3 straight walks for Ryder Lang, the starting pitcher for Gilmer. River Leach up there now. River had a couple of singles and a walk last night, so he reached base 3 times, or on Tuesday night, pardon me. There's a strike to him. 0-1 the count. Lang working from in a hurry. That pitch outside and low. Nice stop by the catcher. 1-1 the count now on River Leach. Freshman third baseman. Straightaway stands up at the plate. Here's the 1-1. Outside, gets away from the catcher. Here comes another runner toward the plate, and he will score standing up, and it's 3-0 Carthage. So that's another wild pitch. So we've had 2 runs come in to score on a wild pitch. The first runner that scored on an RBI single by Sam Watson. The other 2 runners move up, so now we have runners at second and third with 2 outs. 2-1 on River Leach, and the Dogs up 3-0. Here's the pitch to him outside. Ball 3, 3-1. Lang from the stretch, and the 3-1 outside, ball 4. So 4 straight walks issued by Ryder Lang. And you have to wonder how much a wet ball is playing into this. And the Gilmer coach is going to come out. Nope. He was coming out, then he went back to the dugout. Now he's coming out. And so time has been called. When time is called, he's going to bring a towel out. Bring a towel out. When time is called, it's sponsored by FlowZone. FlowZone is your industry leader for oil and gas pipe, valve, fitting, and supply needs. They're ready to offer customer service that will exceed your expectations. So the coach brought out a towel for him, and Pierce Pipak thinking, well, maybe I ought to do something for him too. So Pierce Pipak went out to give him a dry baseball. That plate is tough enough to find from 60 feet away, even if it's a dry baseball. 1-0 the count now to Blayton Legrone. Here's the 1-0. Outside 2-0. Remember, 4 straight walks given up by Lang. Legrone on all 3 times on Tuesday night. There's a strike. Now he widened the plate for that one. Here's the 2-1. Outside. 3-1. Yeah, Legrone Tuesday night had an RBI single, another single, and then a walk. So 2 for 2 and a walk and an RBI. Outside, ball 4. Gets by the catcher. A run comes in to score, and the runner on second is going to stop at third. So Legrone walks, driving in a run. So 1, 2, 3, 5 straight walks. And now we're back to Maddox Martinez. Here's the pitch to Martinez, in there for a strike. So Carthage up 3-0 now. Make it 4-0. 4-0. 4-0 in the bottom of the first. Bases juiced with 2 outs. Strike 2 call. Here's the 0-2. This one grounded out to the third baseman. He's got it. Steps on the bag for the force out. And that ends the bottom half of the first inning. So Martinez reaches base on the fielder's choice. For the Bulldogs, they pick up 4 runs in the inning, and they leave the bases loaded. We will go now to the top of the second. Carthage up 4-0. We'll be back after this 60-second break. And here's the first pitch to the leadoff hitter. This is Zach Turner, the shortstop for the Gilmer Buckeyes, batting in the 6th hole. And he takes ball one. Wilk working in a hurry. Ball two. Carthage up 4-0. Here's the pitch, and that hit him. So Turner hit by pitch to lead off the top of the second, and he'll be at first base with Lathan Kemp coming up, the right fielder. Kemp was suited up on Tuesday but did not get in the ball game. He did come in later to pinch hit for one of the Buckeyes. Here's the first pitch to Kemp. Inside corner, strike one. Here's the 0-1. Inside. 1-1 the count. Here's the 1-1. Strike two call. My observation is with it raining tonight, and let's see it. I can't see. Is the rain still coming down, Shamal, or can you tell? Okay, it stopped raining. This one line. This was going to be down in center field for a base hit. And I tell you what, if we had someone covering second base, we could have made a possible play as a force out. If Ritter comes up throwing, I'm telling you, there could have been a force out at second, or it would have been very close. Okay, John Goodwin to come out and visit with Alex Welk. Gilmer with the first two runners on here in the top of the second. And so remember that anytime time is called, that's sponsored by FlowZone. FlowZone is your industry leader for all oil and gas pipe valve fitting and supply needs. They're ready to offer customer service that will exceed your expectations. Pierce Pipe Pack goes out to end the conversation. So a hit batter and a single. And Gilmer has a couple of runners on here in the top of the second with nobody out. Lathan Kemp, the batter, the right fielder. Squares around the bunt, and it bunts it foul down the third base line. I've been to several practices where the Bulldogs have worked on this very situation right here. Okay, Welk from the stretch looks back at the runner at second, the 0-1. Gets this bunt down, but it's a foul ball. It bounced once and then hit Soap's mitt. And so it's now 0-2 on Kemp. So most likely the bunt, of course, is off with two strikes. Kemp with a straightaway stance up at the plate. Holds the bat right at the very end of it. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him on a breaking ball. And so Kemp is out on strikes. That's the first out of the inning. Tay Horn, the batter now. Tay Horn, a left-handed hitter. This is a 9-hole hitter. Might be looking for the bunt right here. Here's the pitch to him. This one foul back into the screen. So it's lefty versus lefty here. Texas Rangers yesterday losing their opener for the season, 5-2. Here's the 0-1. Strike two call, breaking ball. And what I sense that with it being wet, that Pierce has widened the zone a little bit on both sides. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Got him. So Horn goes down swinging. So the first two get on, hit by pitch and a single. And, boy, I don't know what John Goodwin said to him when he went out there, but since that visit, it's been nothing but strikes. 2 strikeouts, 3 pitches on each batter. Swing and a miss right there. That's strike 1. This is Aiden Vineyard. Wilk back on the rubber in a hurry. He's got the sign from Soap. Set at the letters. The 0-1. Did he go around? Pierce said no. Asked Spencer Ashmore. Ashmore says no also. 1-1 the count. One and one the count, 2 outs. Here's the 1-1. Strike 2 call. Wilk trying to work out of a jam here. Runners were on first and second with nobody out. Here's the 1-2. Swung on and foul back in the screen. I think that went in the screen. I don't believe it went in the Bulldog dugout. One and 2 the count. That batter's back foot is right on the edge of the batter's box line. Swing and a miss, got him. So runners at first and second, nobody out, and Wilk fans 3 in a row. How about that to get out of the jam? Way to go, Alex. So we go down to bottom of 2 is Carthage 4 and Gilmer nothing. Back after this 60-second break.
Choosing the right healthcare provider can be a difficult task. Hope Community Medicine is here for you. Whether you need medical, OB/GYN, or behavioral health services, it is our mission to provide access to high-quality healthcare regardless of your ability to pay. With 5 convenient locations in Carthage, Center Hall, Center, and St. Augustine to better serve your family. Hope Community Medicine, 903-690-8395.
Now in the bottom of the second, leading 4-0. I didn't give you the wrap-up on the first inning. The Bulldogs with 4 runs on 1 hit, no errors by Gilmer, and 3 left on base. And if you're wondering how in the world did we get 4 runs on 1 hit, we also had 5 walks in the inning. 5 walks in a row. So now Watson leads off. Watson, who had that lone hit in the first inning. Left-handed batter, open stance at the plate, the back foot on the edge of the back line to the batter's box, and that pitch is high for ball 1. Laying a right-hander just like Wilk. He looks like he's going to work from the stretch even with no runners on. And that is strike 1. 1-1 the count now on Sam Watson. Here's the 1-1. Fouled off left side. That's going to go out of play. I tell you what, you know, this ballpark facility here, the complex, is not only beautiful, but it's well thought out also. Here's the stretch, the 1-2. Low, 2-2. And as evidence of it being well thought out, it's built so that it's really impossible. Here's a 2-2. If you park in the lined parking spaces, in other words, where you're supposed to park, it's impossible for a foul ball to hit your vehicle. Here's a 3-2, high ball 4. And so Watson with a leadoff walk here in the second inning. And that brings up Cale Preston. who was called out at first on a play where he beat the throw on a bunt. Okay, Preston, the left-handed batter, steps in there now. Hit him. Preston hit by a pitch. And Pierce Pipak, I tell you what, Pierce Pipak's he's a smart ump. Hit by a pitch, and he immediately runs out toward the mound to be in between Lang, the pitcher, and Preston, the batter. And now we've got the Gilmer coach coming out to visit with his pitcher, and we may have a pitching change coming up. And we do. All right, so back at the station, we got a pitching change coming up. Let's take a 60-second break. No, make it 90 seconds.
Better solutions, better building comes from Louisiana Pacific, caring and involved corporate residents. Friends and neighbors in Sonoma County are the foundation of business at Louisiana Pacific, delivering high-performance building products in the area. Church, city clubs, as volunteers in the work they do in the community, and at Louisiana Pacific. Good people in good company with you and Louisiana Pacific. Louisiana State Bank, a name no one can depend on. We're your neighbors and community partners. We're committed to meeting your financial needs by providing banking solutions to your mortgage, commercial, or personal loans. With 118 years of service to our community, we're part of your local rodeos, 4-H, and festivals. We want you to know that we're here for you. Visit us at FSBCTX.bank or come see us today. Farmers State Bank, improving lives and fulfilling dreams. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Folks at home, if you're hearing what I'm hearing on the commercials, well, I apologize because the commercials are just not clear, and I can't help you with that. I don't know what's causing it, but we'll try to get it corrected. All right, we're in the. There's a warmer-up toss all the way back to the screen by the reliever for the Gilmer Buckeyes, and this reliever is Aiden Davis. We're in the bottom of the second. Carthage with 4 runs in the bottom of the first. Then at the top of the second, Gilmer got their first 2 runners on, so they had 2 on with nobody out, and Alex Welk struck out 3 Buckeyes in a row. All right, so now Ryder Lang, being relieved now, the starting pitcher. Here's the first pitch to Brooks Soap, and it's a ball 1. Aiden Davis relieving Lang. Davis is another right-hander. Brooks Soap, the batter. Soap popped out to short his first time up. Here's the 1-0. Outside, 2-0. Carthage and Spring Hill tied at the top of the district, 6-0 records. 2 games behind them. Kilgore's 4-2. And there, the pitcher, Davis, steps off after looking a long time at the runner at second, who is Sam Watson. Here's the pitch, outside, ball 3, 3-0. So you've got Carthage and Spring Hill at 6-0. Kilgore is 4-2. Then a game behind Kilgore, Henderson and Gilmer both 3-3. Pine Tree 2-4. Chapel Hill and Cumberland are 0-6. That ball is outside, ball 4. And the Bulldogs now have the bases juiced. They are juiced full of dogs with nobody out, and the batter is Cade Moore. 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 And the batter is Cade Mo Cade Moore to step in there now. And we're going to have a runner on first for Brick Soap. And this is going to be Ralston Reed. Ralston Reed in there to run for Brooks Soap, the catcher. There's a strike on the outside corner. Ralston Reed had the distinction last year of being the first Carthage High School player to hit one out of this ballpark. And he hit it in the JV game. Here's the 0-1. Strike two call. Again, Pierce Pipak, okay, just from watching it, he's widening the zone just a little bit with the wet weather here tonight. It has stopped raining. Here's the 0-2. This one fouled back into the screen. 1-2 the count. Pipak going to stop and visit with Cade Moore a little bit. Bases loaded. Oh and 2. Here's a pitch. Outside. 1-2 the count now on Cade. Gilmer infield in with the bases loaded. They're going to obviously come to the plate on the force out if there's a ground ball hit to one of them. Here's the 1-2. Outside, 2-2. And with him widening the zone a little bit on the outside to the right-handed batters, you've got to be careful. That one is definitely off the plate, and it was called a ball. Here's a stretch by Davis, the 2-2. This one hit in the air, foul ball. First baseman going for it, and the first baseman makes the catch. And here's a runner tagging to score, and he does. Great play there by the first baseman as he had to go catch that one really with his back pretty much to the infield as he was going down the right field line toward the right field fence. And he tumbled over the second baseman, I believe, fell to the ground, and when that happened, our runner on third tagged up because there was no way he could get up and make a throw in a hurry. So Cade Moore flies out to first, and that would be an RBI for Cade Moore. Driving in Watson. Moving to third is Cale Preston. So now we have Preston at third and Ralston Reed running for Brooks Soap at first base. One out, a run in here in the second inning. Carthage now up 5-0. That pitch is outside. Cade Ross squared around like he was going to put the bunt down. The Gilmer infield reacted. 2-0 the count now. He's squaring up again. Outside, ball 3. And Ralston Reed takes second base. Okay, so we'll give him a stolen base there. Technically, you can call that defensive indifference. At least they do that in the majors. Stolen base is sponsored by Red Oak Insurance. Outside, oh, that's called a strike. Red Oak Insurance is your local go-to insurance agency for great customer service. They've been serving Panola County for over 40 years. So the count now is 3-1 on Cade Ross. Runners at second and third with only one out here in the bottom of the second. This is a bouncer back to the pitcher. He's got it on the second hop, throw to first in time. And the runner goes off of second base, and he is thrown out. Well, base running mistake there by Ralston Reed. That was a bouncer back to the mound. He threw to first to get the batter easily, and Ralston Reed on second base had wandered off too far and was thrown out trying to get back to the bag. So for the Bulldogs, a couple of more runs here, or no, one run scores. That's it, because they got the double play there 1 run scores, and so the score now after 2 is Carthage 5 and Gilmer nothing. Back in 60 seconds.
When making important decisions, it's reassuring to count on people you know. First State Bank and Trust Company is that group of people offering home loans or everyday depository accounts. First State Bank and Trust is recognized as being among the most reliable, strongest banks, as determined by our nation's leading bank rating firm and our Financial Incorporated. It's a 5-star rated bank of people you know, always innovating for your changing financial needs. Member FDIC Equal Housing Bank, First State Bank and Trust. How's air conditioning and electrical? I don't know where you can find Spider-Man.
Don't you always have something for everyone?
Well, we can help everyone with heating, cooling, and electrical repair needs. We install new systems and whole home generators, too. We don't know where any superheroes are, but we always have super prices.
Super prices? I never heard of that, superhero.
Since 1974, we've got something for everyone. Hal's Air Conditioning and Electrical. Call 903-693-7451.
They leave 1 runner stranded. So we've now stranded 4 in the first 2 innings of play. And we go to the top of the 3rd. Chevy Edwards, the left fielder, leading off for the Buckeyes. He walked back in the first inning. And that pitch is outside. It's now 2-0. Looks like it's getting darker here. Pitch is 3-0 now. Remember, in the second inning, Welk hit the first batter. Second one single. Here's a 3-0. Strike 1. No, ball 4. Ball 4. In the second inning, for Gilmer, the first batter was hit by a pitch, and then Davis singled. John Goodwin came out to talk to Welk, and he struck out the next 3. Swing and a miss there. Klein Lindsey lined out to right his first time. He swings and misses for strike 1. Bulldogs leading at 5-0 here in the bottom of the second, and the top of the third, I mean. All right. So 0-2 the count now on a breaking ball. So Lindsey now behind in the count. He chokes up on the bat about an inch. Here's the 0-2 pitch. High. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Welk with a pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. So Lindsey out on strikes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strikeouts in the ball game for Alex Welk. And the batter now is Ryder Lang. He walked in the first inning. Welk from the stretch, the pitch. Boy, that looked pretty good. Ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Low. 2-0. The count now. 2-0 on Ryder Lang. We're in the top half of the third inning. There goes the runner. Pitches inside. Throw down to second. He is out at second base. Nice throw there by Brooks Soap. Had to wait for Spencer Ashmore to make the call. It was a one-hopper, and Edwards is thrown out. So 2 down now, and the batter is Ryder Lang. 2-0 on him. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Strike 1 call. Now he started down toward first base. It's 3-1. Okay, yep. He thought that was ball 4. So A strikeout of a batter, then a walk. Then a throw him out at second, trying to steal second. And now here's another walk. Welk has not given up a run yet and is not, let's see, he's only issued or only allowed one hit. But he's up to 54 pitches now in 3 innings. That pitch is a strike. And if you're going to go the distance, the limit is 110 pitches, and if you divide 110 by 7, you get just under 16 per inning. Here's the 0-1, and that is high. 1-1 the count. Here's the 1-1. That's foul back. And so the count now is 1-2. Yeah, you have to average just under 16 pitches, and right now he's at 19. 57 pitches for 3 innings, and he's not finished with this inning. Here's the pitch, and that's bounces up there. It bounced in front of the plate, went over the shoulder of Brooks Soap, back to the screen, and the runner on first takes second on the wild pitch. Wow, that one hit several feet in front of the plate and bounced, and somehow managed to miss Soap and Pierce Popek and went all the way back to the screen. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Dropped by the catcher. Throw to first in time. And so that's another strikeout for Alex Welk. 3rd out of the inning. Put out goes to the first baseman. And so no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left for the Gilmer Buckeyes. And we go now to the bottom of 3. Is Carthage 5 and Gilmer nothing.
Flowback Services, you need Razor Services Inc. out of Gary, Texas. You can trust the experienced team at Razor Services Inc. for all your flowback services. Just call co-owners Lake Young at 903-692-2535 or Brian Scott at 936-572-0724, whose teams are on the cutting edge of flowback services. Razor Services Inc. Gary, Texas. Safety has been and is still a leader in the safety OQ industry that specializes in pipeline compliance for contractors, operators, and individuals working in the oil and gas industries nationwide. Intel welcomes the toughest challenges that our clients will face, and we pride ourselves in always exceeding their expectations. Anywhere we're needed makes Intel and their driver choice. Online at IntelSafety.com or call us at 888-750-8800. Intel Safety.
All right, we're back here at Bulldog Park. Gilmer and Carthage in District 16-4A. This marks the midway point of the district season because 14 games. 14 games. There's 8 teams in the district, so you play the other 7 teams twice. 7 times 2 is 14, and this is game number 7. So we're 50% complete after tonight for the district campaign. Caden Ritter leading off for the Bulldogs here in the bottom of the 3rd. Carthage up 5-0, and that one's ball 1. And if the Bulldogs can win this one, then they would be assured of no worse than a first-place tie going into action next week against Spring Hill. Spring Hill should win their ball game tonight. They would certainly be favored over Pine Tree, 2-0 now to Ritter, and that's going to make both teams 7-0 going into next week. Tuesday night will be at Spring Hill. A week from tonight, this place ought to be packed if it's good weather for Spring Hill and Carthage. 3-0 now to Ritter. Here's a 3-0. Ball 4. Spring Hill and Carthage have tied for the district championship in each of the last 2 seasons. And each time Spring Hill advanced because they own the head-to-head competition against Carthage, 2-1. We played 15 games against each district opponent the last couple of years. Played 15 district games, playing each team 3 times. I may have said that we played each team 15 times. That's wrong. Played 15 total games. Each team we played 3 games. Throw to first again, and he's back in there. Spring Hill has, of course, one of their assistant coaches, the former head coach of Carthage for the last 4 years, Jason Causey. Here's the pitch, and this one is popped up, foul ground, infield. First baseman calling for it and makes the one-handed catch for out number 1. So Leach is out, popping out to the first baseman, and that brings up Blayton Legrone. Boy, I tell you what, when you've got the 9-hole hitter contributing, that is enormous towards success for a team. Again, he was 2 for 2 and a walk and a run scored and an RBI on Tuesday. And the game before that, he was 1 for 2, a walk, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. And the game before that, a triple and 2 walks, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. There's a pitch getting away from the catcher, and Ritter will take second on the wild pitch. 2-0 now to Blayton Legrone. And about 3 games ago, he threw a runner out at the plate. 2-0 the count now to Legrone. Crowds the plate. Here's the pitch to him. This one is hit in the air to right field. Right fielder coming on. 5 steps, and he dropped it. He dropped it. Runner on second is going to go over to third. At the last minute, he fell forward as he, I don't know whether he lost track of it or what, but he fell forward trying to catch it and dropped it. So Legrone is on, and I think you'd have to give the right fielder there an error because he had plenty of time to get it. So now first and third with 1 out for Martinez. Bulldogs have scored in both innings so far, 4 in the first, 1 in the second. This one, foul back, and that goes up and over the roof here. Yeah, you go on the road and you really appreciate what we have here. I mentioned the fact that here it's, your vehicle, this one's popped up, a bunt attempt back into the screen. Here, the way this complex is set up, it's pretty much impossible for a foul ball to hit your vehicle. Now, that's not the case at Gilmer. That's not the case at Cumberland. That's not the case at Chapel Hill. Here's the pitch. And that is going to be strike 3 call. So Martinez is called out on strikes. Second out of the inning. And so if we're going to keep our streak alive here in this game of scoring in every inning, it's going to have to be Watson coming through for us here. We've got runners at first and third with 2 outs now. Watson takes one low for ball 1. Davis to the plate. There's strike 1. And it's going to be a stolen base there for Legrone. Again, those are stolen bases sponsored by Red Oak Insurance, your local go-to insurance agency for great customer service. Been serving Panola County for over 40 years. Here's the 1-1. That one, that's a fair ball down the left field line. No, he called it foul. Woo, that was close. Wow. Boy, from here, Now, our broadcast position is not on the third baseline. To know for sure, you'd have to be there because remember, if it goes over the bag, it's a fair ball. Boy, that one was very close. 1-2 on Watson. Here's the pitch. This one hit past the third baseman into left field. That's a base hit. One run is in. Here's another runner coming toward the plate, and he will slide in head first. 2 more runs for the Bulldogs on the 2-out RBI double by Sam Watson. So Watson gets 2 RBIs. I tell you what, I'm going to give him a single. And he goes to second on the throw to the plate because that's really what happened. If they throw to second, he's not going to try that. Okay, so now it is 7-0 Carthage with a runner at second and 2 down, and the pitch to Preston is high for ball 1. Preston has bounced back to the mound and been hit by pitch. This one hit hard to the second baseman, and he lets it get through him into right field, and here comes a runner rounding third, and he's going to come in to score. And it's now 8-0. So Preston on first. And that was a hard hit ball by Preston. Throw to first, runner back in. Now, not too many games ago, and I think it was at Chapel Hill, Preston was picked off of first. That hit him. Soap hit by pitch. I think it was before the game at Chapel Hill. I was talking to Soap and also to Sam Watson, and I asked them if Coach Goodwin had done a little coaching on how to be hit by pitch, and they both said yes. I went up to broadcast a game at Pleasant Grove years ago. Here's the pitch to Moore. This one is popped up. Right fielder over to his right about 6 steps and makes the catch for out number 3. So Moore flies out to right, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. But the Bulldogs put 2 more runs on the board, make it 3 more runs, and the Bulldogs now lead it 8-0 here at Bulldog Park after 3 innings of play. Top of 4 coming up after this 60-second break.
Need the best in flowback services, you need Razor Services Inc. out of Gary, Texas. You can trust the experienced team at Razor Services Inc. for all your flowback services. Just call co-owners Lake Young 903-692-2535 or Brian Scott at 936-572-0724, whose teams are on the cutting edge of flowback services. Razor Services Inc. Gary, Texas. Carthage has been and still a leader in the CEOQ industry that specializes in pipeline compliance with contractors, operators, individuals working in the oil and gas industries nationwide. Intel welcomes the toughest challenges that our clients present, and we pride ourselves in always exceeding their expectations. Anywhere we're needed makes Intel a desirable choice. Online at IntelSafety.com or call us at 888-750-8800. Intel Safety.
All right, we go now to the top of the fourth. And if you're just tuning in, you're thinking, wow. Okay, this is a ground ball foul down the third baseline. Zach Turner leads off for the Gilmer Buckeyes. If you're tuning in and thinking, well, I thought this game was supposed to start at 7 o'clock. Well, no, we started about 5:10 or so, somewhere in that neighborhood. That pitch hits him. Turner hit by a pitch. Breaking ball, and so he just stood there motionless and let it hit him, knowing he would get on. So runner on for Gilmer with nobody out. Second hit batter in the ball game for, and here's a grounder to third baseman, throw to second for one, and that's all they can get because the throw from Leach was a wide throw, and Martinez had to stretch to get it. He was just concerned about getting the force out at that point. So the force out goes 5-4, and safe at first on the fielder's choice is Davis. That was a ground ball to Leach, and we had a chance for a double play, but it was a wide throw, and Maddox Martinez had to stretch in order to come up with it, and his main objective was make sure that he held his foot on the bag so we could get the one out. Here's the 0-1, high and outside. 1-1 the count now to number 17. This is Lathan Kemp. He struck out swinging back in the second inning. Here's the 1-1, swung on and missed. Count now 1-2. Boy, Wilk is in a rhythm right now. He's ready to pitch. Here's the 1-2. Didn't miss by much. 2-2 the count now. The 2-2 outside and high. 3-2. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. So Kemp down swinging for the second time in the ball game. 2 outs in the inning now. And that brings up Tay Horn, who struck out swinging back in the second. That pitch gets away from the catcher. Throw down to second, and he is going to be safe at second base as the runner when it got away from Brooks Soap, but not very far away. It bounced off of one leg, I think off the other leg, and he had a little bit of a challenge finding it. And the runner took off when that happened, and the throw was fairly close because the runner took off late. So we'll call that a wild pitch. 2-0 now on the batter. This is Tay Horn. Left-handed hitter, just a slightly open stance at the plate. And this one is hit to right center field. And the center fielder coming on, that's Caden Ritter. Nice play there by Ritter. Caught that one on the run. A pop up to short center field. And so the Gilmer Buckeyes go down in the fourth inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and they leave one on base. So now we go to the bottom of the fourth. And Carthage leads this one by a score of 8-0. We'll be back in 60 seconds.
Service Center, but did you know where to go if your car or truck needs repair or a tune-up? That's Carthage Service Center as well. Carthage Service Center, located at 2003 West Panola, open from 7:30 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, offering state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment and the best trained staff in East Texas. Give them a call at 693-6688. Their goal is to deliver quality auto repair service to you and your vehicle, home-owned and home-operated at Carthage Service Center. If April showers bring May flowers, then February's deals will create March tears. Don't fall for all the low-ball, leader ad,
too good to be true ad that you may see. Shop us now, shop us later. But if you're not shopping with Tippett Motor Company, you just start experiencing how great buying a car can really be. Founded in 1951 to serve Pomona and surrounding counties, Tippett Motor Company believes the experience should be second to no one. Come experience a better way to buy a vehicle today, Tippett Motor Company.
To the bottom of the fourth. And it's going to be Cade Ross leading off for Carthage. High ball one. So the Bulldogs are in a position now, if we were to score 2 here and then shut them out, then it's all over. Here's the 1-0. 1-1 after a call strike. Oh, Carthage under a tornado watch now. Here's the pitch, swung on and missed. Carthage under a tornado watch. Here's the 1-2, high, 2-2. That one goes back to the screen, so it's now 3-2. 68 degrees. We've had 95 100ths of an inch in the last 6 hours. That one high ball 4. 88% humidity. Tornado watch until 8 p.m. Friday at. Here's the pitch high. Okay, Ritter the batter. So Ross with a leadoff walk is on first base. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. There's a strike. 1-1 the count. Okay, Davis working from the stretch. Here's the 1-1, high, 2-1. Okay, Shamal, do you see rain right now? Is it raining? It is. Okay, rain is falling again here at the ballpark. Here's the 2-1. This one lined into right field for a base hit. Right fielder over and stopped it. It rose away from him. And the runner on first is going to make it to third. We're going to have second and third with nobody out. So that's going to be a double for Ritter. Right fielder went over to his left and did a good job in making sure it didn't go all the way to the wall. If it had, we'd have scored 2 runs, I think, on that. But as it turns out, it's a double. And so now runners at second and third with nobody out for River Leach. Gilmer infield in. High ball 1. Leach popped out foul to the first baseman his first time up. Gilmer infield in. Bottom of the fourth. Carthage up 8-0. Here's the pitch. That's a strike. Okay. One and one the count. Leach asks for time, steps out of the box. Back in there now. The right-hander set at the belt. Here's the pitch. outside, 2-1 now. That didn't miss by much, but it definitely was outside. We've got Ross at third and Ritter at second. Ross at third, Ritter at second with nobody out here in the fourth. Here's the pitch. High. 3-1. Again, 2 runs in this inning, and if the Bulldogs shut them out in the fifth, the game is over. Here's a 3-1. There's a strike. So now it's 3-2. 2 balls, 3 strikes. Davis, the right-hander, from the belt to the plate. Outside. Bounces away from the catcher, but it's right in front of him. So now the bases are juiced. They are loaded up for Blayton Legrone. So a walk, a double, and a walk. And Carthage has the bases loaded here with nobody out. A chance with a couple of runs here. With 2 runs, and we shut them out in the fifth, that's it. 3 runs, and they could score 1 run and still be over. Here's the pitch, and it's high for ball 1. Legrone has walked and forced in a run, so that's an RBI for him, then reached on an error by the right fielder. Here's the 1-0. In there for a strike. 1-1 the count now. Back to the top of the order after Legrone and Maddox Martinez. Here's the 1-1. This one hit foul down the third baseline. Boy, that one almost got John Goodwin. Oh, my gosh. That was hit like a bullet. And John with some nifty footwork avoided that one. Oh. I might go back and watch the video to see that one again. Hope that got John. Our camera did. Okay, here's the stretch, the 1-2. High, 2-2. And something that you see just about every Bulldog batter do, and I'm not for sure, with 2 strikes, they square around as if they're going to bunt. There he is right now. He pulls the bat back. This one is hit in the air, out to left field, hit deep. Left fielder going back. This ball is up against the wall. 1 run is in. Here comes another runner scoring, and it's going to be a 2 RBI. No, a one RBI, and we only got 1 out of that. Wow. Legrone sent that one a long way. That was 1 hop against the left center field wall. And just 1 run scores on it because we had runners tagged up in case the ball was caught. So that's going to be a 1 RBI single for Legrone, bringing Ross across. It's now 9-0. And base is still loaded with nobody out for Maddox Martinez. That one high for ball 1. Boy, Legrone hit that one a long way. That is more than half the distance between the foul line and the 394 mark out there. So you can just guess that was about 370, 375, something like that. Wow. Quite a blow there by Blayton Legrone. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That one gets past the catcher. Here's another runner going to come in to score. He scores standing up. It's now 10-0. So that he scores on a wild pitch, and now Carthage does lead it 10-0. And we've got runners, the other runners move up, so we've got a chance to add to the lead here. So it's 10-0 Carthage in the bottom of the fourth. Runners at second and third and nobody out. A strike. So now the count is 3-1. That's the second time that Martinez has taken a couple of steps toward first. This one hit to left field, hit well. Left fielder to his left. He's got this one, a one-handed grab. There's a tag at third. The runner will come in to easily score, and Carthage now up 11-0. So that is the first out of the inning. Martinez flies out to deep left field, and that's an RBI for him. As Leach comes in to score, and Legrone tags up at second, and he moves over to third. So now it's 11-0 Carthage. One out here in the bottom of the fourth, and a runner at third with one out. Watson the batter. This one hit out into left field. This will get another runner home. There's a one-handed catch. Here comes the runner toward the plate, and he will score easily. He slides in but didn't have to, and it's now 12-0. So Carthage up 12-0 here in the bottom of the fourth. Watson with a fly to left. That's the second out of the inning. He gets an RBI. And Preston as the batter now with the bases empty. So the good news for Gilmer is the bases are empty. The bad news is they've given up 4 runs. Preston hit by a pitch. And I didn't finish my story. I think I've told this before, that I went to Pleasant Grove to call a ball game, and one impression I came away from that game with was that Craig Jones, the Pleasant Grove coach, had definitely coached his players on how to get hit by pitch. Definitely had coached them on how to get hit by pitch. All right, here's the pitch from Davis, high ball one. So now we've got Preston on first. Now he has the speed to steal second. But at some point, you know, it's just like in football. You just call off the horses after a while, and you don't try to just totally embarrass a team. 1-0 the count. I doubt that John Goodwin would be sending him here, but you never know for sure. This pitch is hit foul down the third base line. John doesn't have to do the fancy footwork to avoid that. John visiting with the third baseman for Gilmer. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This one is popped. This one's hit foul also down the left field line. Tell you what, John, after dodging that one foul ball, he's backed up. He is backed up. He's deeper than I've seen him this year. This one hit foul out of play right side. Definitely out of the third base coach's box. And he is almost at a depth that would put him he's about 2 steps away from being on the depth of the outfield grass. So he's at the very back of the infield dirt. Here's the 1-2 pitch. This one, a little pop-up caught by the pitcher. And so Soap pops up to the pitcher, and that ends the fourth inning. 4 more runs for the Bulldogs, and they leave another runner on base. And the score now is Carthage 12 and Gilmer nothing. If we hold Gilmer to 2 runs or less here in the 5th inning, the game is over. We'll be back for the top of the 5th after this 60-second break.
Financial Group, we will assist you in maximizing and understanding your coverages with access to multiple carriers. We can help you find the best coverage for the best price. Home, auto, farm, ranch, commercial, life insurance, and financial planning. Hudson Financial Group is your one-stop shop. Call us today, 903-693-7874. Hudson Financial Group, where insurance equals assurance.
He thought the best prices on televisions were at the box stores. Wrong. Check out these prices at Carthage Furniture. A 32-inch TV at $199. A 55-inch TV just $399. A 65-inch TV used for $519. Want something bigger? A 75-inch TV just $699. Or the big one, 85-inch TV at $999. Carthage Furniture equals free delivery, and Rosa and Lena speak Spanish.
And Alex Welk can end it right here by holding Gilmer to no more than 2 runs on the 10-run rule, 10 after 5. And we start looking forward now to Spring Hill next week. Wow. That series, again, last 2, there's a strike. Last 2 years, Carthage and Spring Hill have tied for the district championship. Here's the 0-1 outside. 1-1 the count. This is the top of the order. Aiden Vineyard up now. Strike 2 call. 1-2 to Vineyard. Welk from the stretch, the 1-2. This one, line right to Leach. And I tell you what, he hit that one as hard as he could, but it was right to River Leach. Did not have to move 1 step. So 1 out, nobody on. Chevy Edwards, the batter now. He has walked twice. And if you're wondering about the crowd, I tell you what, there's more here than I thought there would be. More here than when we started, that's for sure. Maybe some people didn't get off work until 5. There's a strike to Edwards. 0-1 to Edwards. This one, little ground ball back to Welke. Runs a couple of steps toward first, fires over to first in time. So the Bulldogs now just 1 out from ending this one. Klein Lindsay, the batter. He is lined to right and then struck out. Bulldogs going for their second shutout in this 2-game series this week. 1-0 to Lindsay. And that one's low, 2-0. Let's go, Alex. Lindsay, the 3-hole hitter. Welk from the stretch, the 2-0. Swing and a miss, strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bulldogs 1 out away from ending it here. Here's the 2-1. Low, ball 3. And, you know, I think some pitchers get a little bit too amped up. And, you know, they have some control issues. Swing and a miss. I was starting to say that maybe that's the case there, but that was right down the middle. And he swung and missed it. 3-2 the count now. 3-2 pitch. Strike, 3 call, got him. That ends it right there. And so the Gilmer Buckeyes go down 1-2-3 in the top half of the 5th inning. And the final score of this ball game is Carthage 5. Make it Carthage 12, Carthage 12 and Gilmer nothing. And there go the flashing lights. If you haven't been out here to a game yet, if the Bulldogs win, then we've got the flashing lights just like Globe Life Field. And not only that, but several of the lights turn red when they're flashing. All right, so the Bulldogs win it. We'll be back after this 3-minute break. 3 minutes, and we'll be back to wrap this one up.
When you combine your car insurance with your State Farm homeowners insurance, you get big savings. So talk to me, Agent Kate Barber, and experience the Good Neighbor service that has made us America's #1 insurance company. Together, we can help you make sure you get the discount you deserve. No policy with State Farm? No problem. Call me, Agent Kate Barber, at 903-693-7555 or stop by my office, 1502 West Canola, directly across the street from McDonald's, and find out how much a multi-line discount can save you.
Hello from Hobby Horse. With spring fast approaching, we are excited to show our new outfits for spring and Easter. We have sizes 2T up to size 10, and we also have precious new baby clothes. In addition, there's new home decor for Easter, spring, and for the bride. Springtime is also wedding time, so don't forget about our bridal registry. We have our bridal selections available for you to peruse and excellent service to help you with more selections. Visit the Hobby Horse today, right off the square in downtown Carthage.
When
When you need a set of tires, call Leo Graves at Graves Tires in Carthage. Their number, 903-693-4841. At Graves, you always save. They are located at 809 East Sabine in Carthage, which is right next door to the Dairy Queen. Now, whether you need a set of brand new name brand tires or you need a set of good quality used tires, you can find them at Graves, aligned and balanced and ready to go. And you will still have change in your pocket. That's at Graves Tire in Carthage.
This is Darcy with Carthage Flower Shop on the Square, where we are more than just flowers. In shop, we keep a variety of live pot plants, silk arrangements, snack baskets, candles, keepsakes, and a great bath and body line called Magnolia Soap. We now offer balloon arch installations, so give us a call for your next event. We can even get flowers to your loved one out of town. Thank you for all your continued support, Darcy, Jeanette, Levi, and the girls at Carthage Flower Shop.
Jim's at Carthage, over 50 years servicing the food and restaurant industry with superior products. Advancing innovative packaging to enhance digital experience is more than just our purpose statement. It's our driving passion to make people's lives better through the food packaging they use daily. Jim Pack's dedication to quality assures you get food containers and packaging at its best. Browse and find what you need at jimpack.com or look for our products on amazon.com. We are everywhere. Made right here in Carthage by folks you know. Jim Pack.
You know where to go when you need a set of tires. That's Carthage Service Center. But did you know where to go if your car or truck needs repair or a tune-up? That's Carthage Service Center as well. Carthage Service Center, located at 2003 West Panola, open from 7:30 to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Offering state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment and the best trained staff in East Texas. Give them a call at 693-6688. Their goal is to deliver quality auto repair service to you and your vehicle. Home-owned and home-operated at Carthage Service Center.
Bulldogs and the Gilmer Buckeyes getting together in a game that started at 5 o'clock instead of the scheduled 7 o'clock because of impending bad weather. And the game indeed started with a rain falling. The Bulldogs picked up 4 runs in the first inning, 1 in the second, 3 more in the third, and then 4 more in the fourth. And for the second game this week, the Bulldogs shut out the Gilmer Buckeyes. The score this afternoon, Carthage 12 and Gilmer nothing. For the Gilmer Buckeyes, they had no runs on 1 hit. They committed 2 errors, and they stranded 4 in the ball game. Their record now for the season is 10 wins and 8 losses, and in district play, they are 3-4. For the Carthage Bulldogs, the Bulldogs had 12 runs on 4 hits. They committed no errors, and they left 7 men on base. And the Bulldogs now have a season record of 10 wins, 8 losses, and 1 tie, and they are a perfect 7-0 in District 16 4A play. That means the Bulldogs are assured after tonight of being at least tied for a first-place tie in the district with the Spring Hill Panthers. Alex Wilk was the Bulldog starter. He went the full 5 innings, gave up no runs on just 1 hit. He struck out 8, walked 4, and hit a couple of batters. And again, the Bulldogs with their second shutout of Gilmer this week, shutting them out 8-0 on Tuesday night and 12-0 on late Friday afternoon. So the Bulldogs win it. Final, Carthage 12, Gilmer nothing. For your Sports Beat station, I'm Larry Allen. Okay, I want to thank Shamal Parrish for his help here at running the camera. He's the one that gives you the video that you see if you're watching it on EastTexasToday.com. And also thanks to Josh back at the station for his work there. So next week, the Bulldogs will go up against the other team that's tied with Carthage for the district lead, that being the Spring Hill Panthers. Tuesday's game will be at Spring Hill. We'll have it for you on KGIS 104.3 FM and also on East Texas Today. If you can't make it, hope you can make it up to Spring Hill. Not too bad of a drive, but if you can't, we'll have it for you. And, of course, 1 week from tonight, the Bulldogs and the Panthers will be playing right here at Bulldog Park. We need the Bulldog Park packed on that night to support the Bulldogs. All right, one more time, the final score in Friday's ball game, the Carthage Bulldogs 12 and Gilmer nothing. For Shamal Parrish, this is Larry Allen from Bulldog Park, wishing you a great weekend. So long.